Now let's move on to looking at how we can incorporate some editorial work that might have been done outside of Smoke, such as a program as Final Cut Pro or Media Composer, and take that data into Smoke to then use all of Smoke's great tools to finish your project. So now I'll minimize that folder and expand another folder. Now a perfect example of that workflow is a client of ours named Delicious Edit. Delicious Edit is a company that uses Final Cut, and they added Smoke on the Mac to be able to take their work to a higher level and finish it inside of Smoke. So what they do is they do their editorial work inside of Final Cut and then bring it into Smoke. So for example, if I step over to Final Cut, you can see what I have here is a project that Delicious Edit was working on, and they've done all their editorial work. They've got all these different clips that have been brought in here. They've got the edits, the transition, dissolves, and so on. And now they want to take this work and they want to bring it into Smoke to take advantage of the tool set that Smoke offers them. So to do this, it's as simple as going to my File menu, coming down to the Export option, and choosing XML. We're going to use the XML interchange format to be able to communicate what was done in Final Cut and bring it into Smoke. So I'm just going to go through here and save this, and I'll override the existing XML file that I created earlier. Now if we go back into Smoke, and what I want to do is access my library. So I choose the Open button, and I'm looking at my Smoke library. You'll notice the folder and file structure is the same that I had in my Edit Desk library. Let's switch this to a dual view, and this allows me to use my gateway to access and view any computer that's attached to my computer, whether it's local or through a network. So I'm going to go and look at the original media that was used for that project inside of Final Cut. What I love about this library is if I tap over on the right hand side, I now have a preview and information about each one of these clips that I'm selecting. And as I do select them, I want you to notice something. Some of these files are QuickTime 1080 files. Other files are 720 image sequences. So there's a variety of all these different file formats that are all the native formats that you're already accustomed to using that are available to you, and you can work with them directly native inside of Smoke. Also, I like the fact that as I select these clips, I can actually get a preview of the clips. I can play back the clips. I can set in and out points of the clips. I can do all this work to the clip. If I want to then bring it into my Smoke library, I can prep the files before I do so. What we want to do, though, is perform the conform and take this XML file that we just created and bring it into our Smoke library. Let me expand my folder, and I have the folder named Conform. Now, if I double click on the XML file, I get different options as to how I want to import this file. We have search options for the footage, such as file name, time code, tape, frame rate, file options. Do we want to link to the files? Do we want to create a store copy on our local drive, and so on? I'll leave everything set to the default, and to perform the conform is as difficult as this. I pick it up and I drop it on my folder. That's it. Smoke now goes through, creates the timeline, links all the footage into this new timeline that has now been created inside of Smoke, and as I scrub through, you can see I have my files. It's already been done for me. Now I want to take this and bring this into my Smoke desktop. So we're just going to switch this to our record area. I say load to the desktop, and now down in my record area, you can see I have my timeline. Let's switch over to the standard view and take a look at our timeline. So here's the exact same timeline that we had in Final Cut. It's now been recreated right here inside of Smoke. And notice that different effects such as resize, transitions, all these other tools that were created in Final Cut were brought over into Smoke through the XML file.